Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, everyone. As we are talking about mastery, today we are diving into truly alchemizing fear. As we overcome our fear and our hesitancy to fully, truly show up in life, we make magic. We create a beautiful life. My guest today is Sasha Starseed. She is a sound healer and a ceremonialist, someone who truly celebrates the multidimensional realms, and she understands herself as a starseed here on Earth. Sasha, thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to connect with you and to share more of my story and empower other people through my transmission.
Yes, and this topic is really interesting when we say aliens, ayahuasca, and alchemizing fear to create your dream life. This is beautiful. And so I'm going to just let you share your story. What do these things have in common? Aliens, ayahuasca, and alchemizing fear. We know fear literally keeps us locked in someone else's paradigm, not our heart's paradigm, not our heart's desires. And so I'm really curious about, I know we're going to talk about the plant medicine. That's a beautiful way that many people are overcoming addictions and tuning into themselves, having their consciousness expand in that way. But the aliens part of it, or extraterrestrials, please share that story with us. How are those all related?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for opening this up. And I love to talk about it. I actually used to be afraid to use my voice and to kind of share about these more taboo topics. Um, but I knew I was a star seed from an early age. I always had this fascination with the stars. And we would go to the beach every year, and we actually rented a house where we could go up on the roof and look at the stars. And I was just like transfixed. And I always had this feeling like I knew I was not from here and that I was meant to do something different on the planet. My grandma would always say, "You're special. Like you're different. You're in a beautiful way. You're unique." And I had a little bit of fear of extraterrestrials, of aliens when I was younger. And then growing up, I was afraid to sing and use my voice from some trauma when I was younger. And sound healing really empowered me to open my voice. I didn't know when I did my first training that the training would be all using the voice mostly. We didn't use the bowls until the last day.
Mm.
And I almost left the training because I was so scared to step into that. And in the training, there was a lot of different beings that came in and supported me. Um, a woman did a healing on me, and she went, "Ah!" And I saw this lightning bolt go into my stomach, and I saw myself as a warrior priestess running through the jungle. And at that time, this was about 4 years ago now,
Mm.
I I I was working a corporate job. I was got my yoga teacher training, but I wasn't teaching yoga because I was afraid to use my voice. So when I saw this vision of myself as a warrior priestess, I remembered that that is me in this lifetime, that I am powerful, I am a warrior. And I did a healing on this sister after she shared with me, and she started crying. And in that moment, I knew that I was meant to do more than working a 9 to 5 job, that I was meant to share my voice, that it has healing abilities. Um, and that really opened up a whole portal for me, my sound healing training, to then connect with interdimensional beings, to work with plant medicine. It was kind of like that was a whole catalyst for me. Um, and I had a specific journey with ayahuasca where I received my name and I connected with Star Family in the deepest way that I had ever connected with them. So I'd love to share that story if it feels relevant.
Yes. All right. That's really interesting. All right. So let's see. So let's talk about why you were hesitant to use your voice. Because
Mm,
me too. I love to sing, but my
mm,
family, my husband actually bought me singing lessons because
mm,
I would sing all the time, karaoke, and just be like out of control. And so the singing lessons helped me to find my voice and find my natural range. And when I went through that, I actually started bawling because I realized,
mm,
wow, I remembered in the singing lessons as I would sing in my regular tones. Before I would always sing really low or really high. And when I
mm,
was singing in the regular tone, I had numerous flashbacks,
mm,
holding children, singing to the children in another life. And then it's a long story I won't go too much into, but I remembered myself singing in Lemuria, toning in
mm,
Lemuria.
mm,
And so that remembrance for me was really eye-opening, and it
mm,
actually changed my life. And I realized that not only did other people shut me down, I was actually taken out of a lifetime for singing. And
mm,
so, but because of my own judgment of myself on singing, that was just an eye-opener. So I
mm,
asked this question for you
mm,
because what happened? Did you recall, as you had that vision of you as a warrior priestess,
mm,
what was that like? And then in this lifetime, in this incarnation,
mm.
were you shut down as a child? What happened there?
Yeah. I I just finished a Taoist Tantra facilitator training, a month-long training in Mexico, where I did a lot of deep work with sexual healing to step more into my feminine power, pleasure, and purpose.
Mhm.
And going into this training, I was healing a lot. Well, throughout this, I was healing some sexual abuse from when I was 4, where my voice was shut down
Wow.
and I was told not to speak out about it.
Wow.
Um,
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry. Yeah.
yeah. It feels really vulnerable to share. And I also think it's important because I've had a lot of other sisters come to me with similar traumas.
Yes.
And and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to reclaim my voice and my power, and now to help other sisters and brothers move through these challenges with more ease and grace. And I remember, like, my in elementary school, I was very much a straight A student, teacher's pet, very, very excited about learning. The only B I got was in music because I was afraid to use my voice.
Mm,
And yeah, so it was a pattern that continued throughout my life. And when I got my yoga certification, I was working a corporate job, as I mentioned, kind of living this like just a very I was in two worlds.
yeah.
And I remember that I was so afraid to teach because the things that would come up were, what if I say something wrong? What if people judge me? There was a lot of the self criticism and the imposter syndrome. Like, who am I to teach yoga? Like, I just got my certification. Um, and I remember teaching a yoga class at the beginning of COVID online, because that's really what cracked me out of my shell. My sound healing train, my yoga, and then sound healing. And my friends were like, we really need you. We need yoga. And I realized that my fear of using my voice was, it was something that I was being divinely asked to move through so that I could be in service to humanity during COVID. And I started teaching yoga. And I remember after one of the classes, like being like, oh my gosh, was that a good class? And really questioning myself and going down to the river. And the river shared with me, you don't have to be perfect to make a positive impact.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, that's so beautiful. All right, so were you teaching yoga on Zoom?
I was. Mm-hmm.
Wow, see, I know nothing's going to stop us. So, all right, I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for stepping up and into your role. It's beautiful to see that. And I don't know if you wanted to do a little sound expression for us later in this talk.
Mm,
Do that on you. I don't know if that's possible, but I think that would be beautiful.
I'd love to.
But let's continue talking here. So you were always scared of aliens.
Mm-hmm.
And we say aliens, but we'll say extraterrestrials.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to ask what happened. Maybe you had an experience. Is that, or did you see something on TV?
I don't remember having an experience when I was young. I was afraid of them. I call them star family now because it's my belief that we all come from the stars. This is a whole nother topic we could get into, but yeah, aliens is the common term for them.
Mhm.
And if I was abducted when I was little, I don't remember it. I do just remember being afraid. Um, but I actually started my remembrance of my galactic nature when, after my sound healing training, Lady Isis came to me in my training and she said, I am one of your like head council. I'm one of the ascended masters working closely with you. And I was like, wow, okay. And I got her oracle deck and I pulled a card. Actually, I had heard a podcast with Elizabeth April and Deja Blue, and Elizabeth channeled Blue's galactic history. And she saw Blue on the Galactic Council, which is like the UN for interdimensional beings. And she saw Blue doing mudras on the council as
Mhm.
this blue, beautiful woman that was shimmery, kind of androgynous. And she came down to the earth to be able to support humanity because there's only so much she could do from the council. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my goddess, I was on the council using my voice to help people heal. And I came down to raise the vibration from fear to love. And that night, I pulled a card from my Isis deck and it said, Lady of the Stars, you are of Pleiadian, Syrian, Arcturian, and other star nations. And you were brought on this earth to raise the vibration from fear to love.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then there's been a series of um, like interactions, the biggest one being with ayahuasca. And then as I travel, I've actually been traveling over the last year and a half to different sacred sites around the world that are galactic portals: Machu Picchu, Egypt, Costa Rica, Lake Titicaca, Tiwanaku in Bolivia. And I've been connecting with Star Family at these portals. And then I've had encounters in Sedona. So ever since I started working with ayahuasca and had this really like clear experience, now I pretty much connect with them every day in my meditations,
Mhm.
looking at the stars, and they guide me on my journey.
That is so beautiful. And what a journey. And so as you're traveling to these places, these sacred sites,
Mhm.
you're actually remembering parts of your journey there, like your past
Yeah.
lives there. Yeah, it's aspects of your soul
Mhm.
aspects that you are collecting there. I'm here in Costa Rica, and when I came, I was expecting just to be here for a little while. And
Mhm.
I came on 12/12 of 2021 and I haven't left. And
Mm.
it's this beautiful, the energy here, I really think it's between Lemuria and Atlantis. I feel those energies weaving, and it's just really quite precious and special. So one of the things that I meant, what I see here is there's a big, it's like one of the most well-known in the world, well, outside of Peru and other areas, for dealing with trauma, treating trauma with ayahuasca and plant medicine. There's others. I have not done that. I guess I'm pretty scared or skittish. I like taking meditation as the approach. But can you go into your experience with the plant medicine? Where were you when you did that ceremony?
I was in Peru.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had just I'd quit my corporate job 6 months prior. So this was 3 years ago now. Um, and I got invited to do sound healing at a yoga retreat in Peru and do a throat chakra ceremony. And right before the yoga retreat, I got invited to sit with all women with ayahuasca in the Sacred Valley. And the
Mm-hmm.
first night of ceremony serendipitously fell on my golden birthday, where I turned 28 on August 28th. And I had sat with the medicine before in California, but this felt like really extra special being on in Peru with all women. It was a small, intimate group. And as the first ceremony, we journeyed and we were deeper into the medicine. It's about a 9 hour total journey from when you first enter the Maloka, the healing temple, to when the journey's over. And you go through a series of what I see as like waves to the journey where um, the root produces DMT. Well, it produces DMT in your brain, and you'll have visions and see colors. Sometimes you'll have different like body reactions. It actually, my belief is that it helps unlock your Christ consciousness DNA. It actually activates your DNA and helps clear trauma and things that are not serving your highest mission on the planet. And as I was moving through the journey, a prostitute from my lineage came in and she said, "It's time to heal guilt and shame for all of us." And I had cheated on a past partner and carried a lot of guilt and shame about it. And I was more promiscuous when I was younger. And I really just, I didn't love myself. I was very hard on myself. And I remember looking in the mirror and saying, "Sasha, I love you so much. I forgive you for the mistakes you've made, for the people you've slept with. It's all led you to be this woman." And I felt Kuan Yin's presence just pouring ripples of compassion over me. And for the first time in my life, I truly felt unconditional love for myself. And I came out of the bathroom and the shaman invited me to play my sound bowl and sing. And as I was singing, these two blue Pleiadians came over me. They were a man and a woman with a DNA spiral from them into me with musical notes out my throat. And they said, "Your voice is the most powerful tool. We're working through you. Keep using it."
Wow.
Yeah. And
All
that's how
right.
I got my name, Sasha Starseed. And that's really when I knew that. So when I run a sound healing academy now, and that's when I got the download to create my sound healing academy. And I now run all women ayahuasca retreats with Tantra and vocal activation.
Wow.
And that planted that seed for me as well to help other people. And I feel that that journey really, it totally changed my life. And I'm super grateful for the medicine.
Wow. Acceleration.
Mhm.
Acceleration. And
Yeah.
so the trauma healing, we can see why. And it's also addictions.
Mhm.
Um, I find people here that are using those ceremonies to overcome addictions.
Mhm.
Why do you think that is? Is it the DMT connection? Is it our soul connection? Is it,
Mm,
it's like we can do hypnosis to meet the higher self,
for sure.
but there's something for it. This is a soul connection. right?
Mhm.
It's connecting multidimensionally to
Yeah.
aspects of you. Is that what's
Mhm.
going on here?
Yes, and I'm obviously not a doctor to like speak to the medical components of the addiction. From what I can perceive and from my own experience. Um, because before that I had like drank alcohol. I went to like a party college and I really shifted. I broke up with a toxic partner after that ayahuasca journey.
Wow.
And I was much more, I actually went into celibacy after that, broke up with the toxic partner, was really more discerning with my drinking and not really wanting to, um, yeah, not feeling as like, oh, I need to go out and drink. My whole life, my priorities just shifted to loving myself, to creating my offerings that I was really passionate about, using my creativity in positive ways. So, and it is said that ayahuasca is a shadow medicine. It can help you to look at your shadows. And I serve mushrooms, and I believe that there's no such thing as a bad trip. Really, it's all love because it's spirit showing you these shadows or parts of you that maybe are they're hard to look at. And that's why I feel like people have what they say bad trips. Um, when we can look at these parts with love and compassion and recognize that life is happening for us, not to us, then we take our power back. We're no longer in the victim. And then we're able to move forward with that information. So it's my belief that it illuminates our soul's truth and connects us with the parts that have always been there, but society and our limiting beliefs, maybe how we were brought up, is just putting a shadow or an illusion over our soul's light and our truth.
Wow, thank you. And you mentioned the forgiveness and the
Mhm.
unconditional love that you felt for yourself. That really is, that is the taking your power back. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Okay. That is true empowerment for the whole planet.
Mhm.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. There is a question here. We have our Zoom audience. Susan would like
Mhm.
to know, what is her star seed? I don't know if you're able to tell that, but do you have some advice here for Susan?
Yeah. I have a lot to say about this topic. Um, for me, to answer your question, I'm a mix of Pleiadian, Syrian, Arcturian. Um, I have a little Yahonian. I'm really connected with the jungle and ayahuasca and the plants. I have strong connections to Lemuria and Atlantis as well, so the Lemurians. Um, and I'm uncovering new parts of my galactic DNA every day or every week. New beings come to me, and it's my belief that if you've read, have you read Flower of Life by Drunvalo Melchizedek?
Yes, I have both
Yeah.
books and Living from the Heart. Yes.
So in that book, he talks about being in Australia and cave paintings
Yeah.
showing ships coming down onto the water and giving people information. And the people in Australia, like that's a time when they really evolved. And he went to Peru, he saw the same cave depictions, and he talked to a native elder, for anyone who hasn't read it. And they talked about the same thing of ships coming onto the water and helping humanity evolve. And as Jumvalov was traveling around the world, he heard the same story in Mexico, at the pyramids, at Angkor Wat, in Cambodia, all in India, all over. And what by reading that, and then I lived with a dear star brother, Adam Apollo, who he's remembered a lot of his galactic past lives. I just started piecing all of this together and remembering my own cosmic nature. And it's my belief that these star families have come down into all of these through the pyramids in Egypt, all of the places that I mentioned I've traveled to give us information to support us. And when I was at Machu Picchu, I actually had this visual of a rainbow to the heavens and recognizing that I was a star being coming down to give information to the people in Peru as a rainbow bridge. And now through my sound healing, I'm creating this rainbow bridge between you and your higher self, your monad, and between the head and the heart, between these lands of Peru and these medicines. That's actually, I'm creating my first album right now, and that's the name of the album, is The Rainbow Bridge. And at this time, I feel like we're all remembering and we're ascending ourselves and our the earth. And so connecting to our star family, to come back to the question, I feel is helping us with that ascension process, because we are given different downloads and guidance on how we can heal and be in more joy and be in play and love each other and ourselves. So for me, I like to going to sacred sites is a big part of it, and praying, singing at sacred sites, but then sharing, doing sound healing, connecting with the bowls, and creating a space to ask for their guidance. A lot of times I'll sit outside at night and stare at the stars, and I'll just say, I'm so grateful. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. And really treating them like you would build any relationship with someone else. You don't just say, like, I need this. It's like, how can I listen to you? How can I support you? How can we be in a dialogue? And I feel like, creating an altar and having a song where you're just singing your gratitude, I've found that those are all ways where I just can deepen my connection, and through meditation as well.
Beautiful. So, Susan, please go ahead and tune in to yourself and meditate, and you will be given the answers. It's very interesting. Would you say it's what we resonate with as well as what we don't resonate with? Like if we have an aversion to something, for example,
Mm,
and I was doing something recently in a webinar, and we were going through the different star families and feeling into
mm,
them, and some feeling it. Just being able
mm,
to feel it is a key indicator. But then there
mhm,
was the Andromedans, and I was like,
mm,
nope. And then later that day, I realized more about it. So this
mm,
is our way. And so, wow, I don't know how to articulate that, but it's our understanding through our
mm.
feelings, right? What we resonate with and what we're hesitant
Yes.
with. So like going to Egypt, I've wanted to go to Egypt, but only till recently. And it seems like everyone's going to Egypt. And then
Mhm,
the hesitancy revealed a past life of being a slave in Egypt, or not having such a
mm,
great life in Egypt, but there's other lives as well. So, and also India, but yet here, and I'm really into
mm,
Tibet, and and so we
mm,
remember. So it's our memories. It's looking into the aversions, the things that we try to avoid, and it's looking into the things that we love. And
mm,
so that reveals past lives, both good and bad, right?
mm.
Lemuria and Atlantis
Yeah.
as well. Why we just love Hawaii ever since I was a little girl. Many of us always called to Hawaii. And then maybe,
Mm,
east of the Mississippi in the United States, not feeling comfortable going there because the energy is so different. That's my
mm,
personal journey of
mm,
remembering myself as a Lemurian in Atlantis, and it was not good.
mm,
It was not good.
mm,
But then living lives in Atlantis, working with the dolphins and crystals, it was so these are just our memories that come up.
mhm,
And so, what do you do when you start to decipher these memories, these visions? How would you how would you trust that these memories are real, that there's something there?
Mm. How to trust that the memories are real and there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. What's coming through is the more we trust ourselves, the more we trust our intuition, we can trust everything that comes through. And so tapping in, like my practices personally are qigong, yoga, hiking in nature, sound healing, singing, praying at my altar, meditation. Um, and the more I feel like we can know what our baseline is and our what is ours and what is someone else's. I'm also a projector in human design. So I need alone time to make decisions, because sometimes if I try to make a decision with a bunch of other people around me, it's like, oh, I'm actually picking up on what they are wanting and projecting onto me instead of what is truly mine. Um, and for me, like when I look up at a ship at night in my backyard, I live in Boulder in the mountains, and they come and they present themselves. When I connect with my heart and I connect with the feeling of love, and then I see them and then they start telepathically giving me information, it feels like it's this heart connection that feels like unconditional love. And if there's ever anything that's doesn't resonate in my body with anything, like if you go to a psychic or if you go to a healer, and if it doesn't resonate in your body, then that's not for you, in my opinion. And that's what I teach with the sound healings that I do, the ceremonies I lead. I'm not here to tell you what is the answer. I'm here to hold space for you to find that for yourself and to heal yourself. Because I think that's where the real power lies, is that we're all healers, we're all psychic, we all have these gifts and these abilities. And not to put anybody on a pedestal, but to really tune into what is your truth in your heart.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. I'm really
Yeah.
excited here. So you mentioned Costa Rica and Peru. And actually, when I went to Peru, my life changed. Absolutely. We did
Mm.
ceremony, we prayed, and I came back
Mm.
and I had such a deep connection and I heard stop as I was going about my regular way. And that actually made me stop and listen to guidance that I was receiving. And I followed the guidance and my life has changed
Mm.
significantly. And that was in 2011. That was
Mm.
2012 when we got back, the beginning of 2012. So amazing. So you've been to Peru, you've been here to Costa Rica, Mexico, these beautiful places. And you said Boulder, is that Boulder, Colorado or Nevada?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God,
Colorado.
I'm from Boulder, Colorado.
Wow. Ah, what an amazing
But I'm
small
not there right
world.
now. My family's there. My
Oh,
family's there. Wow. All right. When I go back to Boulder, I will definitely look you up.
I would love to
And
connect.
and maybe we do a retreat here in Costa Rica with an ayahuasca ceremony.
I would
Maybe
love that.
we'll talk about that offline. Stay tuned,
Beautiful.
everyone. Yeah, I'm scared to do it, but with someone like you as a
Mm.
facilitator, there it would be probably easier or more comfortable, let's just say, because it's a
Mm.
ceremony and it's an expansion of consciousness. Wow, that's so cool. And in Boulder, that's where I had my ship experience. I sighted a ship. We were living up in
Wow.
Boulder Heights, up
Yeah.
in the yeah, and really wild, really incredible. And so wow.
In Pine Brook Hills?
Yeah, more Lee Hill Road up in Boulder
Okay.
Heights off Lee Hill
Yeah.
Road. And it was
Wow.
incredible. We could see the whole plains, and off in the
Mm.
distance there was a light that was just weird. My husband saw it too, and as we focused on it,
Mm.
it came closer. And as it came
Mm.
closer, within seconds, then I started to see the shape of the ship. And then I saw windows, and it hovered over our house for about 40 minutes. And my knees were all wobbly and weak. I didn't even think to get my camera, didn't even think. We just stared at it and watched it. And my son,
Mm.
who was 8 years old at the time, we went upstairs to say, do you see that? Do you see that too? And he's like,
Mhm.
yeah, he wasn't really thrilled about it. He's like, yeah, so what? Like he's stars or something. So,
Yeah.
wow. And I learned later that that was actually um, cultivating me to remove the fear that I had around it. And I think that the
Mm,
fear comes from society, from the movies,
yeah.
yeah, society that tells us that's bad. And
Hmm.
so really amazing. Okay. So cool. Thank you. Thank you for sharing
Hmm.
here. All
You're
right.
welcome.
So let's see. Here is, all right. Here's a question from H in our Zoom audience.
Mm.
And can you feel or check if I have Samish in my DNA and maybe see who the two blue whisters Scandinavian shaman just told me, blue is a nice color. She's pretty good, just not good on star beans. Okay, Helena. This is from Helena. So can you see, is that a question that you can answer for Helena?
Mm,
Maybe
no.
to go in.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be my um
Okay.
empowerment would be to feel it, to like check in with yourself and see what
Yes.
you feel.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
the key. We are here to empower people. And
Mhm.
I would say, Helena, if you are asking that question, yes, yes. It's like
Yeah.
when people say, am I from Lemuria? And I'm like, well, what does that word Lemuria mean to you? For
Yeah.
me, when I learned about Lemuria, it totally melted my heart. Every time I heard the
Mm,
word, it melted my heart. And
mm,
then it just, and I had heard it like 30 years ago, I heard about Lemuria. 10
mhm.
years go by, and then it connected me with my soul family here, incarnated on this planet. So we're
Wow.
just sharing this because it's guideposts for all of us.
Mhm.
And it goes into the feeling again when we are able to feel. And for one thing, the questions that we have, if we ask the question,
Yeah.
go even more into it. Either
Mhm.
way, like, why do I not want to go to India? Ask it.
Mm,
Why do I not like this certain thing or this aspect? Ask that
mm,
question. It's
mm,
either something in our DNA or our
mm,
ancestral line or a past
mhm.
life or an aspect of us that
Yeah.
we're avoiding or that we're clinging to. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm actually reading a great book around abundance and cultivating our taking our power back from limitations. And the limitations are not just with money, but it's with all these everything. And when we feel triggered, it's actually an opportunity for us to go into it, feel it fully, and then take our power back from it and claim our truth of we are God consciousness creating our reality. I am abundant. I am powerful. I have gifts to share. I am courageous, whatever that is for you. And I think sometimes for me, it's very easy for me to go and connect with my guides and my star family. And actually being in my body and feeling those feelings was challenging. And we're not really taught how to feel our feelings. And my Tantra training really supported me to go into those crunchy parts and to, when you feel like there's anxiety, like, well, what is maybe what's deeper than that? Or where is it living in your body? How can you actually like fully expand into it? Because in order to heal it, we need to fully feel it. And I feel like now I feel more grounded and expanded by practicing Tantra and able to hold more of my light because my body is not scared to be in the full human experience.
Yes, as we all go through this and experience it, sometimes we begin to think that we're crazy. Did you ever have any of those experiences that you felt like, oh my God, I'm crazy? But then when we trust it, there's just something about the experience of listening to our guides. I have a group I call the Sofa Council. They literally sit, they're five beings who we all know. and they literally sit with me on my sofa outdoor every night. And when I tune into them, I get such great wisdom and I get such great feelings. And sometimes, I'm kind of shy to say this out loud, but what was your experience feeling maybe that you were kind of, you know, how did, is it because the feeling that you felt in your body and the trust that you felt and the goodness that you felt that helped you overcome feelings of being different or being looked at as crazy?
Hmm. That's a great question. Thank you. The feelings in my body, like for instance, when I quit my corporate job 3 years ago, it was one of the scariest things I've ever done. My
Yeah.
whole body was going into fight and flight because my whole life I was programmed to go. I was in a great university. I was in all honors. I got a great corporate job. I climbed the ladder. And
Huh?
to leave that and pave my own way was terrifying because it was going into the unknown. And I think what's more terrifying to me is living a life that's not in alignment with my heart's truth and being depressed and anxious and using substances or partying on the weekends to avoid not being actually fulfilled in my job. And
Mhm.
and so I don't think I always say courage isn't the absence of fear, it's feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Because I don't think that as we pave this path, we're meant to be comfortable. We're creating a new way. We came at this time to co-create the new earth together, and we remember, but we're in a society that's asleep in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And so I think it's about, like, we can feel these feelings of uncomfortability in our body, but we know we have this deeper feeling and we're connected to this remembrance of what it was like in Lumeria, and living in bliss and harmony and singing and being in the water. And like there's this greater remembrance. I think that when we can tap into that, it gives some comfort. And also, the more I went onto this path, the more beautiful synchronicities were happening, that I was like, wow, I really am supported.
Yeah.
And then the universe kind of responds as you keep leaning in, for me.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, beautiful. And so many are going through this as well. And for some to leave their jobs, their corporate jobs, again, it's such a unique personal journey for everyone, that some maybe numerology or human design is going to dictate that they should work in an organization, they should be an organizer, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
So not everyone is meant to strike off on their own. So this is where looking inside into the feelings is really important here. But when you stepped out of the old way, of that old programming, the old paradigm that says you should go to school, you should get this good job. How are you going to live? You got to work from 8 in the morning until 5 at night or 6 at night or even more, right? In the corporate world, it really sucks us dry because we give 155% to the
Mhm.
corporation, but then the
Mhm.
tables turn. It's not equal if the tables turn. That we've learned. Many of us learn the hard way. When you stepped out on your own, what was it like with belief systems of having to Mm, not judge yourself for sleeping in, not judge
Mm.
yourself for going and getting a workout in when you think you should be working, that sense of time. What was that like for you?
That's a wonderful question. I I'm still There's new frontiers where I get to keep integrating this into my life. And I have a really solid example from 2 weekends ago, when I'm recording, like I mentioned, my first album right now, and it's the most beautiful labor of love. I've recorded sounds from all the sacred sites I've traveled to, And I'm taking you on a worldwide sonic journey through the sacred sites to activate that DNA within yourself and to remember your cosmic power. And each song has elements from each chakra in it, or each song represents a different chakra and a different site. And it's been so fun. My inner child is just like feeling so much joy creating this journey for people. And there's a little bit of my sister who's helping my not blood sister but soul sister who's helping me create it. She goes on tour because she's a touring musician. She leaves in April, so we're like, okay, we're really going to focus. And that's a similar thing of like, when you're in a corporate job or when you're working for someone, you have like that container of like, I should be working from 9 to 5. But we kind of hit a roadblock 2 weekends ago, and we're like, we kind of spun out. We're like, there's no creative energy flowing. We were both getting a little irritated, and Spirit was like, go out and go to this concert and have fun and dance.
Yeah.
And we went to this show, we danced, we were having so much fun. We got backstage, we were like chatting with all the artists. And even like backstage, I was talking to his sister about ayahuasca. It was like just really high vibrational people. And we had the best time. And then the next day we were guided to go to hot springs. And we're like, really? We're gonna take another day off recording? And Spirit was like, just go, you gotta do it. And we went to hot springs and we were singing in the water and playing, and our inner children were so happy. And then that night, a sister that I had chatted with about coming to my Peru retreat messaged me, and she's like, I just went to the farmer's market, pulled a card with this woman. It was exactly about stepping into my gifts and my voice. And that night she sent in her payment for the Peru retreat. And I just don't think it's a coincidence, like listening to spirit for how we are guided, and then being like this energy coming back in a way that I didn't even expect. And then we had so much more creative energy to work on the album with love and joy, not like, oh, we got to do this. So I share that example because sometimes things aren't always like, oh, I do this and then instant gratification, I get this. It's it can be like we just listen to the breadcrumbs that spirit shows us, and miracles happen from that space. And I didn't do any of that expecting to get anything out of it. I just was honestly taking care of myself and doing what I needed. So I recognize when there's any of that shame or guilt for taking care of myself. I just keep reminding myself that when I'm full and when I'm happy and when I'm healthy, then I can be of better service to everyone that I'm supporting.
Yes, thank you for that. And the key word that you said there is having fun and playing.
Yeah,
Really a great
exactly.
way to move the energy. And what you're doing is, I do things too. We have a list. We have people make lists of things they love to do. Sadly,
Mhm.
so many of us are just thumped from the pressures of life that we no longer remember what makes us joyful or what we
Yeah.
love to do. So maybe just everybody make a list, 5 things that you love to do. Make that list and then go do them. Make that list and do not feel guilty if you decide to do it. If you decide to get up from your desk and go out and ride your bicycle because you're happy at that, or turn on music and dance, or, twirl your baton. I love twirling my baton. And last night I added toning while twirling my baton, and that was really amazing. So
Mm.
this is where we can expand, and then the creative energy flows from that. And that's what you're doing. And in our chat, we've got people who are saying that they are embarking on their creative projects. And
Mm.
so what a boost it is to remember to go and have fun. It's that creative energy that fuels and doing what makes our hearts sing, you know, where you can lose track of time because you're sitting there in your heart space, and then you can get so much more done. So because you went out and sang and danced and then went to the hot springs and continued that, Then when you got back in the studio, or if you've gotten back in the studio, did you
Mhm.
find that you got like way more done, like in a quantum level, like whoosh, you got like
Yeah.
hours and hours of work done in a rapid amount of time?
It took us almost 2 weeks to do the root chakra because there's a lot of like tribal
Ooh.
beats in it, and it was a more complex song. And then we were guided to work on the heart chakra. We finished it in like 3 days. We're almost done with it. And it just was like, boom, all of our energy flowed so seamlessly into it. So, yeah, it was a quantum leap.
Wow, that's great.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing that. Okay.
You're welcome.
So I don't want to put you on the spot, but I do want to ask. I can feel our audience saying, can we hear some sound of some sort, toning or whatever it is?
Yeah,
Use your voice for us and maybe just take a few minutes and send us on a beautiful, sensational journey,
I'd
vibrational.
love that. I
Okay.
actually have my bowls right here that
Okay.
I have a Moldavite root chakra bowl and a Morganite heart chakra bowl. So if you're open to me sharing those at the same time,
That would be perfect. And do you know on Zoom, do you know about original sound for
I
musicians?
sure do.
Hey,
Yeah,
musician.
I do a lot of sound healing on Zoom. So,
You've
um,
got that figured out, so we can hear it. Perfect. Okay.
yeah, let me
All
go
right.
grab them.
Great. Wow, what a treat. We are
Mhm.
lucky. Moldavite, for those who do not know, it is an extraterrestrial from outer space. It's from a meteor. And
Mhm.
so, wow. Any intentions as we receive that? Wow, look at that ball.
I know. Yeah, and
Ooh,
I'm Czechoslovakian. So when I play this bowl, I imagine I'm channeling my ancestors from the stars and my ancestors from this planet.
wow. Okay. We are
Yeah.
excited. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually sell crystal starseed sound bowls now. And it's such a joy to get to work with these crystals, and especially moldavite. The resonance is so powerful for me. Okay. I'm gonna take these.
All right. We are preparing for a beautiful sound ceremony. Cool.
I'm so honored that you asked me. I was
Yeah.
actually feeling it. I was like, oh, I would like to share sound healing. So I'm really glad you invited me into it.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Cool.
Let's see. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, beautiful. Hmm. Inviting everyone to just go ahead and close your eyes. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Ah. One more loving breath in and out. Ah.
And let me interject. Is the original sound for musicians on?
I forgot to turn it on. Thank you.
Okay. Ah.
Oh, it says it's unable to start live performance audio.
Let me make you a
Oh, wait, there
co-host.
we go. I
Good.
got it.
Okay, good, good.
Is
All
it
right.
on now? No? Oh, wait, here. Yay, thanks for your patience. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for overcoming your fear of your voice. It is beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow. Those bells, the chimes at the end made me all sparkly. So
Mm.
sparkly. The light language.
Mm.
Wow. Such joy.
Mm.
Really awesome.
Mm.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that little mini sound bath of love, pure love.
You're so
Wow.
sweet.
Whew,
My
okay.
pleasure.
Oh my goodness. And so here you are. You're a beautiful teacher of sound healing as well. You have an academy. And so there's multiple ways that people can work with you. And I'm going to put your special offer in the link here on our Zoom audience. Wherever you're watching this video, you can find the link to this in the description box. And it's right here on this webpage that got you to this presentation. Sasha is here to do a personal sound healing, a private sound healing session with you. And she's also got a sound healing course, full in-depth course, and then a PDF booklet for you as well. And then if you just want to take a little sound bath from the 8-8 Lionsgate, that's available too. Sasha, tell us more about this beautiful special offer that you have for us.
Yeah, it is my highest joy and honor to empower you through the Starseed Sound Academy to step into your voice, to step into your light language, to overcome any fears that you have on being a healer and a light worker in this age. And my students, so all of them, they're now from being afraid and contracted, now they're leading their own ceremonies and they're doing group ones, they're doing live virtual ones, they're leading retreats. And it's so beautiful to support each other in co creating this new earth and healing any of the limitations. In the second level of the course I have, you have a bunch of chakra workbooks and embodiment practices so that you can continue to heal any shame or imposter syndrome. All of the things that I've been through, I help you to move through so that you can shine as the healer you are. And I also have a VIP offering where I will coach you personally as well as this recording. And I love to personally lift you up and be your cheerleader and support you with anything that comes up so that you can, yeah, create your own healing business and heal yourself. And then, as you mentioned, I have the one on one sound baths that I love to share with people. I channel their guides, their star family, ancestors come through. When I was working with one sister, I heard the voice to sing Amazing Grace. And as I was singing, she started crying. And she
Mhm.
said her grandmother's name was Grace. And that was her favorite song. And she sang it at her funeral. So it's really an honor to get to connect people with these guides and loved ones and their higher self. So yeah, all of that is on the website. And I also do, my Instagram is sasha.starseed. If you just want to send me a message on how this resonates with you and how it lands, I love to hear any reflections.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
We have many, I mean, for so many of us, sound healing resonates deeply in our hearts. So we encourage anyone who has that resonance in your heart and you want to take on sound healing, you've got a beautiful teacher here who will assist you and facilitate that for you. And it's again like my own journey with learning to sing again and what it brought up. I had no idea that going, and my singing teacher, she was helping me. Thank goodness that she's like, oh my God, okay, go take that crystal and hold that crystal, which helped me actually get the information of why I was crying when I was simply singing in my
Mm,
natural tones. So it
mm,
was really healing. So not only is this a sound healing journey or learning to be that sound healer, but it's a journey that heals our life as well. It's a healing journey.
Yeah,
Wow. And so this is something that people can take out into the world and make the world a better place. We all
exactly.
should be singing and dancing.
Yeah, they actually say in shamanic traditions, if you are upset and you come to the shaman, they say, when's the last time you've sang? When's the last time you've danced? And when's the last time you laughed? So this forces,
Wow.
right? And these are things that bring us that joy that then we get to love ourselves and love our lives and create our dream life for ourselves and others. And I'm actually, Loren, I'm so excited. I'm coming down to Costa Rica. I'm doing an all in person sound healing training retreat, April
Ah,
6th through 14th, for anyone who's interested. I'm really excited to come back down. It's such a magical land, so activating. And I have my next ayahuasca retreat at the end of April in Peru. So I'm just really honored
wow.
to be here and to share with you all and to help ascend during this new age.
Yes, ascend. It's so easy to look out at the external world, and there's so many reasons that we can look and say, uh-oh, that's bad. But when we stay centered in our heart and we bring the sound and we dance and we sing, that really is uplifting. And that's what we're here to do. That's why we raised our hands so high to incarnate at this time on this planet. Where in Costa Rica? North or south, central, where?
I'll be in Montezuma. The retreat
Oh
is in Montezuma. Do you
my
know?
gosh. No, I know Patricia. I'm not there, but
Okay.
I've been guided to go there. Our beautiful Patricia, who listens to this show, if she's listening, we say hello. She has a hotel, and I'll
Wow.
tell you about that offline.
Okay.
But wow, Montezuma. Okay, all right, interesting,
I know.
cool.
Love to have you or to connect while I'm down there.
Yes, absolutely. Well, this has been a beautiful, inspiring conversation. Thank you for this. Thanks for, it's just amazing that, you're in my hometown.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're kind of like flipped here.
Mm-hmm.
And so we send everyone watching a beautiful love hug and invite you to check out Sasha's special offer. Get a personal sound bath. Those are recorded, yes? Do you,
Yes, so you
you
can watch them
record those?
whenever. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Really enlightening. And I know that you'll find some healing from that. Tears will flow of love, tears of love and remembrance. So
Mm-hmm.
check that out. And if you're interested in being a sound healer, that's a beautiful opportunity as well. So check it out and sign up. If you need help with a two-payment plan, that is on our website as well. You can make a two-payment option for that. So check it out. We're excited to offer this.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha, thank you so much. As we say goodbye, I just want to give you a moment to share final thoughts and words of encouragement.
Mm. I'm truly so honored to be here. And don't give up on your dreams. You have these dreams, you have these visions for a more beautiful, more harmonious world for a reason. And maybe if you don't belong, it's because you're meant to co create this new vision, this new world. And anytime you feel contraction or fear or any sort of trigger in your system, that's actually guiding you into more freedom and more liberation. So keep trusting your heart's desires, keep following your joy, keep connecting with your higher self and all of your guides because you're always guided and supported, and you have gifts to share right now with the planet.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And sharing your gifts is the greatest love that you can offer for the planet.
Truly.
Sasha Starseed, thank you so much for being here and for this quantum conversation. We are uplifted, and because of that, our world has shifted just a little bit more.
Mm.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been such a joy and a pleasure. I've had so much fun with you all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your light and your love. Your love matters
Mm.
tremendously. Thank
It
you
is
all.
111 here.
Hey,
Fine.
beautiful. All right, everyone. I'm going to dance tonight, and I hope that you danced with me in the ethers. All right. Namaste and blessings. Love, love, love.
Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.